What's up, fight fans? Spencer Lazar here, back live. We hit you with Jared Papazian earlier. Now we got Terrion Ware on the line, man. You're about to get a workout in. You got a huge fight this weekend. Long time coming, a pretty big stage for you guys, and I know you're trying to make that leap up. So tell us about it.
Yeah, man. It's just, I've been putting in work on the original scene. I paid all my dues and, it's coming to a culmination here. And I feel like, or at least hopefully, this is the last one that I have to go through to be able to get to the next level.
It is a trilogy fight versus a guy that you faced in MMA. I know you've grown a lot. You learned a lot from that fight, and we talked about how you've been on a tear since then. And then, of course, you fought him in boxing, which is kind of crazy. Both of you guys go over there and get in a boxing ring and then get one in, and obviously came across there. So it's in a way a trilogy fight and a second MMA fight and a chance for you to still kind of have full redemption. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, into a sense, but, for me, honestly, like, this is just another fight for me, honestly. It is, he talks about the rivalry, this, that, and the other. Like, I don't have anything against him or anything like that. I haven't seen it that way. I took, that first fight we had, it was early on in my career. I wasn't even a pro for a year at that point. I wasn't, I had no idea how to train properly, for fights. It was just something that I loved to do, and I was doing it, and I was good at it. Now fast forward 4 years later, I'm much more seasoned, in the way I approach my training camps, my training, this, that, and the other. So now honestly, it's just another fight for me. He's a tough guy, he's a tough opponent. He has the credentials, and for me, I'm just looking to get another, a solid win on my record. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, talk about your grind that you've had to get here. I know you're a little bit. It upsets you sometimes. You're watching the UFC fights, and you're like, I can beat that guy and everything else, and talk about how you get through that and eye on the prize and just persevere here in a tough sport.
Yeah, man, I've had to learn to kind of let that go, and I realize life isn't fair. It's just the way it is. And I see some of these guys, in the UFC, and I'm like, man, I know I can beat those guys, and and those guys, sometimes you get an easy road. Some of those guys have gotten an easy road. Sometimes they're in the right place at the right time, and I've had to grind it out. I mean, if you look at
the right country, I mean, of course, that's a huge one. Where your location is.
Yeah, yeah. But if you look at my record, man, I've had to fight some of the toughest guys in the sport. And in California, it's a hotbed for MMA. Some of the best talent is out here in California, out here on the West Coast, and I've had to go through that. And if you look at my record, I have an outstanding record. And so sometimes you see a guy in the UFC and he's like 5-1 or like 3-2, and I'm like, man, like what's what do I have to do? But, I've kind of had to, just, kind of just let that go and just, and, everybody has their own path. I mean, there's some guys that, spent 10 years trying to get into the UFC and they finally got in it. I've only been doing the sport about 6 years. So, some of those guys take 10, 12 years, and here I am bitching about, 6 years, so who am I to complain about, 6 years, I still
kind of happened that you kind of got to that higher level relatively quick, like you said, and then it's kind of like that grind to get to the elite. Really, where the skill level might only be this much of a difference, if at all. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Talk about technically the matchup with Jared. I know he goes on record saying he thinks he's better than you everywhere. I know you're going to say probably the same thing. So talk about how you see this fight kind of playing out, though, and skill set wise.
Yeah, I mean, when you ask either one of us, what are we supposed to say? You know what I mean? You're gonna
say both well-rounded martial artists. There's no debate. There's no debating that. So it's like, right. Okay. And mostly, I would say both strikers, more or less, as well.
Yeah, striking is my strong suit. It's what I'm naturally good at. But I feel like over the years, and I feel like I've expressed it, and it's shown that my overall game has gotten 1,000 times better. And but I mean, other than that, I mean, honestly, he can say that he's better than me. I can sit here and I can say that I'm better than him. It's not going to matter when it comes fight night. You know what I mean? I know what I've done. I've put in the time. I've put in the training. MMA is impossible to predict. I can sit here and say, yeah, I'm going to knock him out in the first round. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that I'm going to do what I do every single time that I go out there, and that's compete and put on a show and, you know, show my talent, show my skills. And I'm confident that I'm going to go in there and get a win, however it comes. You know, but you know, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, I can guarantee it or this, that, and the other. I'm confident. I know, I know my skills. You know, I've sparred with Jared recently, you know, before the boxing fight. I've had the boxing fight. You know, obviously, you know, I know he's getting better. He's doing things at another gym, whatever the case may be. But I feel like I've surpassed him. You know, we fought 4 years ago. He was better than me then. Story now, and you know, I'm just gonna have to show that on Saturday night.
Nice. Talk about your training, you know, and where you get your work in at.
I train at Systems Training Center, as well as I train with my striking coach, A4 Fitness in West LA, and having both of those guys in my corner, Ian Harris and Adam Lerner, has been outstanding for my career. You know, they're both really intelligent guys, really bright guys, and they've helped my career tremendously. And I've been with them for a while now, and they know me, they know the ins and outs, what I'm capable of, what I'm not capable of. And, you know, they just turned me into a really well-rounded martial artist.
Yeah, I know you guys are a tight-knit family out there. And speaking of family, you have, of course, a beautiful family of your own. Your son, I was just telling you how it's always so crazy to me how much he looks like you. And you were talking about, imagine your mother and what she says. So, you know, talk about your family and that, to kind of go back to and keep you sane in this this crazy sport, you know, that you're working your way to the top in.
Yeah, man, you got to have balance, man, and they're my balance. MMA is chaos. You know, it's chaos. It's dirty. It's ugly. It's grimy. You know, to have those three beautiful people in my life to go home to and just and wash out all that ugliness and dirtiness that you go through on a daily grind. It's important, man. It helps a lot, and ultimately, and a lot of people say, they do this, they do that for their family. Obviously I do that for them, but, ultimately I do this for me. I love to do it. But second closest is, I'm doing everything that I grind to do, to be able to put a smile on their faces and keep them happy in this, so having them and having their support, and they're always at my fights. They don't want to miss it. They flew out to my Minnesota fight and for RFA. It was just great to have them there, I couldn't imagine my life right now without him, honestly.
Most definitely. Well, cool, man. Definitely looking forward to this weekend, a huge fight. I hope Dana White makes it out there for looking for a fight. Of course, everybody can check it out on SureDog.com, live stream. And I know it's sold out, so it might be hard to get tickets now. Studio City there in California. Anything else you want to say, brother?
Nah, man, I just want to thank you, man. Appreciate you for having me, man. And you always showing support to the local MMA fighters, and I'm showing support in my career as well too. And thanks to George and all the CXF guys, for promoting me, putting this fight together. It's been a tremendous help. It's having the regional MMA it's very, very important, man, to help us get to that next level. We need that platform. So I appreciate all those guys, and I appreciate all my training partners, and as well as my coaches at Systems Training Center and A4 Fitness.
There it is. Thank you, Terrion. I appreciate it, and good luck this Saturday night. SureDog.com, guys, for the live stream.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.